That's close.
Yo, I think we're live.
I can't see.
Yeah, we'll wait to make sure we're going live.
Oh. Hello.
What's up, everybody? All right, we're in. All right, we got a couple people in. We'll give a couple more minutes for some people to come on in. Justin Bieber, what do you mean? Travis, what's up, man? Good to read from you, man. I've seen you've been following me for a while too, man. So it's good to see you. No, what do you mean? Aiden, what it do, man? Good to read from you, Aiden. Aiden is a guy I met in New York. So yeah, we hung out a lot in New York too. So Aiden's my boy now. Now you're my boy for life. Good to read from you, man. Hayden, what's up? Vincent, what up? What up? Vincent says, really appreciate your channel. Great work, great ministry. Thank you, Vincent. Appreciate it. What's up, fam? Love the channel. I'm from the Bronx. From the Bronx. What's up, Andrew? You know my boy David Woods from the Bronx. You know, I don't know if he's not from the Bronx, but he lived in the Bronx forever. So I'm not sure if you know who he is or not, but yeah, good. It's Mr. and Mrs. Meme, Shady Oak. What's up?
Hello.
Good to always see your comments too. So it's good to see you here. Say what?
I just said hi.
Oh, word. A bit late, but may stay. Yes, make sure you stay. No, you can. I know it's a bit late. Yeah, I was trying to set up my camera to live stream from it instead of using the webcam. Trying to get it working, but I wasn't able to get it working, so it delayed me a little bit. I had a busy day today too, so I went to church. Then I had lunch with the youth pastor at my church, and then came home and then set this up. So, all right, Joshy boy, appreciate it. Legend Plays is asking, dogs or cats? Definitely dogs. Dogs all day, bro. All day. Where's everybody from? I keep seeing now people are starting to trickle in more. Where are you guys all from?
That would be good to know.
Yeah. Cold Canada. Yeah. Huge fan of all your vids. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Landspell.
Seattle, Ireland. I want to go to Ireland so bad.
Naylene. You spelled color like City and Color, that band, if you've ever heard of them. Dallas Green, the singer, dope singer. I don't listen to them for a long time though, but they're dope. Yeah, everybody's from all over. South Africa, Louisiana, Atlanta, VA, San Diego. Hey, Matthew, are you going to the Apologetics Conference this week in San Diego? If you are, find me. I'll be there. I just confirmed that I'm going to be coming, so be out in San Diego this week. Yo. All right. It's 8:30 here, watching from Taiwan. That's dope. Man. All right, so what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? I hope. Yeah, Siberia. Yeah, I'd love to come there. Yeah, keep that in mind. California. So JMD, what's up, bro? Good to read from you, man. All right. So yeah, you guys, we just figured like we're gonna be hanging out tonight. So we're like, you guys can come hang out with us. And,
yeah, it's kind of random.
And we can just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You can ask me questions, you can ask her questions. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can go ahead. So go ahead and just start shooting in some questions, and we'll start fielding some and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. All right.
This I don't know how you say that.
Okay.
Burgraph. I don't know how you say that. Tips on finding a spouse. That's what a lot of people were asking last time we were on here.
Yeah. What do you want to have any tips?
Well, I was thinking it would be hard. Like I feel like in today's time to like find someone.
Yeah. So I think so too. Like, so what I would say is if you're looking for a spouse, so you're a person that's looking for a spouse, I'd say that you probably, so there's an alarm going off, car alarm going off. What you probably want to do is you're going to always pick based off of what's really important to you. So I think if being a Christian, I think that, I just think about my life if, like I wasn't married to a Christian, like it'd be way harder, you know what I mean? Because the thing that I'm most passionate about is God and, the gospel and Christianity and just really like what God is doing in my life. So if I didn't have someone to share that with that I could talk to about it, I think that would be a lot harder. So definitely, you do want to be equally yoked. What were you saying?
I was just thinking, where would you go to like start trying to meet someone if you didn't go to a big church or something? Because that would be good if you have like groups in your church, like small groups and stuff.
Yep.
To meet somebody.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Don't go to the club.
The bar.
All right. So, where I just saw something. It's good to see you.
How was church? Church was good.
Yeah.
We like the church we go to a lot.
We do. Yeah, we do. Because they,
he said something today I thought was so cool. He was like, we don't want you to come here and be like, oh yeah, everything's good. And he's like, we want to know your real problems, like your honest, authentic self. And I thought that was so cool that our church is like that.
Yeah. I think having
that you can be honest and like go to people.
Yeah. Having an authentic community where you can be open and honest.
Yeah, you don't have to be like bubbly all the time or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm an extrovert, so I'm not too socially bubbly all the time. I'm more of an extrovert for sure.
So you mean an introvert?
I mean an introvert. I'm sorry. I'm an introvert. Yeah, as they say, introverts really get charged alone. That's where they kind of rebuild their energy, and extroverts get charged around other people. And I'm definitely one that gets charged alone. I have like so much emotional energy throughout the day, and then like when it depletes, I'm just drained and tired. So, okay. Let's see. And she's more of an extrovert. So let's see. The NIV and ESV are corrupt. No, I don't believe that's true. I don't think that the King James only crowd, I think that the argument's kind of flawed in a lot of different ways. But one of the big ways is that we have like a worse translation in the King James, because we didn't have enough manuscripts and stuff then. So we found so many more manuscripts since then. So now we can compare with all the other manuscripts and ensure that we have the most accurate translations. And so if you just only have the King James only translation, there's all kinds of issues. But that's one of the big ones, is that you're just like missing stuff, and you have stuff that's been translated with in error and stuff like that. So I definitely wouldn't say I'm with King James only. Whenever I do studies, I try to read at least a few different translations, just to kind of make sure I'm capturing exactly what they're talking about. And then I'll do like some kind of studies. Like if I'm ever going to include like a verse in my video, I want to make sure I've read the commentaries on it, the context, the Greek or the Hebrew, and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it is good, because we usually read the NIV, but it is good sometimes to look at a different version.
Yeah, because then you have like the NASB, and so you have different translations too. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but you have different, like you have word for word translations, or the translations that more or so try to capture the idea. And so, so anyways, you want to kind of compare those if you can. So, all right. Let's see. All right, Frank Christian, super chat. Thank you. Jesus loves you. Jesus does love you. He loves you. And he loves all of us. That's good. Raj is asking, did you know David Wood's latest video on the KKK got blocked here in India on YouTube? Yeah, no, it actually got blocked. It got flagged as hate speech. I talked to him, was that yesterday morning, I think? We woke up and it was blocked. Talked to him about it. But yeah, he's going to try to appeal it, but he can't post for a week. And so like he was saying, he's like, it's crazy YouTube's going to try to block people for making fun of the KKK, and you know what I mean? But instead of that, like it got flagged as hate speech. So the hate speech flags are bad because you get a strike on your account, and the strike means that if you get 3 strikes, then your account gets canceled, by the way. But if you get strikes, like you can't post or live stream for a while, there's like all these penalties and stuff. So he's already, I think, at 2 strikes, something like that. So keep him in prayer. That's our baby screaming in the back. Yeah, whenever we do live streams, you guys are gonna hear some baby screaming, just so you know. You got a little he's a year and what now?
He's 15 months.
Yeah, 15 months. If you're bad at math like I am, then just say a year and 3 months. That's easier. Yeah. But yeah, I did get blocked everywhere, Raj. Yep. Let's see. How do I know that I am being a great Christian? So yeah, I'd say that, mean, it's kind of a weird question to think about, like what makes a great Christian, but I mean, definitely the fruits of the spirit would make you more useful and great in this world. Definitely. You know what I mean? So you'll have more patience and self-control, that sort of things too. But in Christianity, it is a walk, you know what I mean? There's this long walk of sanctification. So don't be too hard on yourself too. I mean, make sure that you are giving yourself, you understand why you're a Christian. I think that's the core thing. Why are you saved? What makes somebody a Christian, And then realize that it's Jesus' righteousness that matters and not your own when it comes to your salvation. And so because of that, you're able to have a little grace with yourself, so you're not so hard on yourself. And then you're encouraged to do good for the right reasons now, finally, because it's not that you're trying to earn salvation or anything like that, because you already have salvation. So now you can actually, instead of working from shame or fear or guilt, you can actually work for more pure motives now, more too, because you know that you're not trying to earn salvation. So that's what really kind of helps. And that's why I talk about like Galatians 5, where it says, it's Galatians 5:16, where Paul says, walk in the flesh so that, walk, you can tell I'm tired, walk in the spirit so that way you don't gratify the desires of the flesh. And so a lot of us think that we have to like not gratify the desires of the flesh if we want to walk in the spirit, right? But instead, what we kind of learn from that verse too, and this is all over too in scripture too, but here's just one verse where you want to, you're not trying to fight sin head on as much. It's more so that you're going to walk in the spirit. And the more that you walk in the spirit and the more that you allow the spirit to do its work, then that's when you're going to start changing from the inside out, not just these external behaviors, but from the inside. And so that's something that's really important. I'll probably do a video on that at some point too, because I get asked that a lot. People are always asking, how do I stop sinning so much and stuff like that, So but that's what I think is biblical, is that our motives change once we understand the significance of being saved by grace through faith, but the grace of accepting God's free gift. And it's an unearned and unmerited gift that we get if we just accept it, And so the more that we remember that, the easier I think it is to start walking more in the spirit, So hope that helps some. Let's see. I'm all over bad at this. I hope that's a decaf coffee. Is that decaf?
No. No, but this coffee's not good. I'm trying to like find a good one. I can't find like a good go-to coffee. This one's I think it's a Starbucks one. I'm like, I should ask everyone, like, what kind of coffee do you drink?
This question says, John, what are your thoughts on Reformed theology? I'm not a Calvinist myself, but I have a lot of good friends that are Calvinists. Vocab is one of them. My boy Vocab Malone. I respect for it. I'm just not convinced by the arguments, and I think that I notice this in theology typically, anyways. That we all tend to polarize things to these far extremes, you know what I mean? Because I would hold to something like total depravity, but I just wouldn't say that it's completely total in that sense, right? But I do think that we are far more flawed than we could ever imagine. But at the same time, we're far more loved and accepted and cherished than we could ever imagine too, But I do think the deeper the well gets, the deeper you start realizing things like our motives come so much from selfish motives a lot, even if we aren't even cognitively aware of it. So it's something like that. There's a few things in Calvinism where I'm like, yeah, I hold to something like that. But when I'm reading the scriptures and then I'm just trying to think about it like from a, more objective kind of, or at least I want to say a more wide view, is when I'm just like, yeah, I just don't buy these conclusions all the time, So that's just my view. But if you disagree with me, it's fine. Cool. Just saw some super chats come in. So Michelle Alta, what's up? Thanks for the super chat. It says, please interview with Paul Vanderklay in YouTube. There's a need to work together. We can't have grace without understanding divine feminine. Amen. I have no idea what that means. The divine feminine. We can't have grace without understanding divine feminine. Yeah, I don't understand what that means. But I will check out his channel. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll check it out. And yeah, we'll see. Thank you for that. Love and Light. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, you did a sticker. That's dope. Hiya. Oh, and it's a cat. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Because we said we're dog people.
Yeah, cats are still cute though.
Yeah. Cats are just like, you know,
They're
you
kinda
can
more,
only do
like,
so much with a cat.
sneaky.
You know, you can't really like hang. I mean, I don't know. I never owned a cat, so maybe it's more fun or
I
something.
had a cat once, and I loved that cat.
You did? Oh, in
Yeah.
college?
No,
Really? Before
no,
that?
not my roommate's cat.
Yeah. Really?
That cat, her cat was crazy, but I had a really cool cat when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
What? How did I not know that? You
Yeah.
never told me that.
She was so cute.
Was she nice?
Yeah, but she was sneaky.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to have a dog too, but
Yeah.
I'm just more of like a dog person, I think. But cats are cool.
Yeah, cats are cool. All right. Yeah, cats are cool. I'm not going to be completely against cats, but I'm just like, when it comes to cats and dogs all day. I mean, dogs you can hang out with. You can like talk to dogs, you know, hang out with them. Cats,
Talk to
they don't really
cats.
care that you're there, you know? No, I'm probably wrong because I never owned one, but did you, vocab, and Sam find any BHIs in New York? Yeah, I thought they're talking about the Black Hebrew Israelites. We actually did a live stream when we went to go debate them on vocab's channel back when we were in New York. We went down like I don't even remember the streets now. But we went downtown. I think it was downtownish or something. Oh no, it was in Harlem. I think. Yeah, we were in Harlem, and then we went to go debate them, and we had a live stream about it too. So check that on vocab's channel if you guys want to see. So yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. What other questions we got? Cats are so smart, they commit suicide. I don't get it.
Aww.
I don't get it.
No, I think he's saying like it's a good thing or something. Which is so sad.
Yeah. Built for Speed 101. What it do, man? Get a read from you, bro. I always see you comment. You've been around for a minute too. You guys too, like I read most of the comments. So if you guys are people that are commenting a lot and stuff like that, I recognize you, you know, most likely because I read most of the comments most of the time. I'll try to read, you know, I won't respond to that many, of course, because that would take my whole life, but I do read them. So
yeah, I think we always appreciate reading those.
Yeah. What's your daily occupation? I work as a financial analyst. Yeah. But if you guys watched was it my last video? It was my last video. My last video, what I'm trying to do now is because it's been really hard doing videos and working full-time hours, the family, I'm working on 2 documentaries. I also teach locally here. So it's been really hard to like keep up with stuff, and I'm tired all the time. You know what I mean? And so I'm tired of being tired. And so what I'm trying to do now is starting to try to move into doing something more full-time with the videos and stuff. So with my last video, I talked about it. And so people, a lot of people, thank you for all of you that signed up on the Patreon, thank you very much to help out so we can actually make it a reality, you know, because like I kind of said in there too, like I've hit the point of burnout a while ago, you know what I mean? So like, I've just been kind of pushing through it all, but I can't do that forever, of course, you know, It's not healthy. It's not good for my family and anything like that too. And I have to take care of my family first, of course. So in order for me to keep doing videos and to keep, you know, this household upheld, I want to try to switch into full time so that way I can actually do it and then, you know, make it good too. And the most important thing is like, because I make decent money at my job, but I want to obviously preach the gospel. I want to teach people. I want to correct all these errors and these lies out there too. And these, especially like most of these big atheist YouTube channels, they have really bad information on their channels too. It's really bad. It's objectively wrong most of the time when it comes to any of the arguments and stuff like that for God's existence. They hardly ever understand them. And I can't understand why that is. But what I'm guessing is that they just keep passing around these straw men of arguments. But I want to make sure that I correct a lot of that and stuff too. And this stuff takes time, you know what I mean? So once I go full time, my plan is to like start storing up these playlists of refutations to all the biggest atheist YouTube channels and just store up all these playlists, you know what I mean? So that way people have refutations right there ready for them. So that way they can, you know, look through it all, understand, you know, how to respond to these type of objections and these channels too. So that way they don't keep getting away with what they've been getting away with. And that's why I think they get lazy, is because they've been getting away with this forever.
When I think people stopped having those conversations, like people are kind of scared to have those conversations like that.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the ones online though, you know, when they're making videos and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so.
No, I mean, I think that's why there's not a lot of responses online.
I got you. Yeah, and I think it's easy to get burned out too for the Christians that are making responses to these atheists, because there's this persistence in not trying to understand. And I think that's human nature at some degree. That's all of us, because we're all sinners. But there's a persistence in not trying to understand and being stubborn, or just not understanding and then being arrogant about it. You know what I mean? Where you're not open to correction. And I'm not saying that Christians don't do it. I'm sure we all do, you know what I mean? The same ways too. But it gets me just how much they're wrong about these arguments, because you can be objective about that. You want to disagree with the argument, I don't care. But when it comes to actually understanding the argument, you can be more objective about that, because we have philosophers and stuff that have written all kinds of stuff on this. And I've read, like, I don't know, ridiculous amount of books on these arguments and stuff. So I understand what the philosophers are actually saying. But these online atheists, most of their channels, they just don't understand what the philosophers are saying. And they always have these objections that they think are like some simple fallacy, that they don't understand the fallacy all the way. It's bizarre, because you'd be like, how it can't be as bad as it seems, but it really is, you know? So anyways, I want to dedicate, you know, full-time work to be able to put together the libraries to refute those things, also to put together more videos and get the gospel to way more people. Like, that's what I want to do with life. I just want to keep getting the gospel to more and more people, where they can understand it in a way where it makes sense to them and it resonates, where they can see how it works in real life. So that's what I want to do. So I did see some super chats come in. Where did they go? All right. Okay. David Julian says, are you hopeful for the future of Christianity? I am. Of course, I'm not like a sociologist or anything like that, but I do think that, like, now we're in a new era where it's easier to get out information. And the good and bad news is, like, the bad news is you get a lot of bad information out there, you know. But the good news is that you have the opportunity to get good information out there if it can resonate with people. So now it's more about the means of communication, I think, in terms of persuasion, you know. So but that's why I'm trying to do what I can do, you know what I mean? Because I really believe that it's so vitally important for us to have these well-reasoned videos and these responses for the younger generations that are getting all their information from YouTube. And I said that in the video too, but the statistics now show that the Gen Zs, they don't watch TV, you know what I mean? The millennials don't watch as much TV anymore, but Gen Zs, they don't really watch TV. They get their information from YouTube. And even if they're not seeking this information, they're going to see it on YouTube. And so it has a really strong impact on how they understand Christianity. So that's why I think we need channels where we have people that are capable of reaching and answering these questions that they're asking in ways that they can understand and are compelling, you know? So that's why I believe that God has put me on this mission, and I pray that we just keep seeing it through, you know? So, but yeah, so appreciate the super chat, by the way, too. Thank you, David. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So if you guys do want to support too, make sure you go to the Patreon link. That's in the description too. I'd appreciate it, because I mean, I literally just can't do it without you guys too. You know what I mean? I'm going to need some help to be able to make it full time, or, you know, we'll just have to figure something else out, but appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, he literally works like from the time he wakes up until like bedtime, on his lunch breaks and weekends.
Yeah, it's hard too, because I want to spend more time too, like with my family, of course. And so that has to come first. But it's like sometimes it's easy for me to get wrapped up in just trying to get stuff done to keep this going during this kind of season, you know. But I keep trying to remind myself that, like, it's more important to take a step back a lot and spend time with family. But she's really understanding and supportive, so that makes the world of a difference, which is why it's good to have a good wife. Without a good wife, stuff's way harder, guys. Just is. So appreciate that. Forerunner's Story. What's up, man? Thanks for our female. Thank you for the super chat. It says a channel that teaches live like the devil and maybe lies, and be saved. Mirror your videos on YouTube. That's how you found you. Do you agree with that type of theology? That let me try to see if I can understand what you're saying about that. A channel that teaches live like the devil and be saved, mirror your videos on YouTube. That's how you found you. Do you agree with that type of theology? Do you get that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't make that out.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I appreciate the super chat. Sorry. Yeah, I just couldn't follow that. Sorry, but thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Another super chat came in. Says David Julian, appreciate it. Another super chat. Oh yeah, actually I skipped one, but yeah, let's hold that thought on David. So we'll go to Johan Gonzalez. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, do you have any resources for biblical case against believers in? Oh my goodness, Anuke stuff? Because I haven't heard of that word. Man,
Where's my phone? I can look at it while you're looking at the other one.
Any resources for biblical case against believers in that? I haven't even heard of Anukai.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But she's gonna look it up for me. I love your content, by the way. Praying for you, brother. Appreciate it, my man. Hey, so what I'd say is that, like, if you understand the evidence for the resurrection, then you can probably make a good case, no matter what. You know, if you understand the resurrection, and then also always keep in mind, if you're talking to people, see what they consider to be evidence, what they really consider to be evidence, not what they say they consider to be evidence. Like, you know, push them on it. And if they don't hold, if they run from you, and if they're like, for example, I just want scientific evidence of something, and you give them scientific evidence and they run away, they probably don't consider scientific evidence to really be evidence. But push them on it, and then get to something where they really defend, and then try to think of ways where you can bring make sense of, you know, the gospel or something like that in light of what they're saying.
So I think they're mythological
traditions.
Gods.
Weird. That's weird. I haven't heard of it. There are people today that believe that. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, not crazy that they believe it, but crazy because I'm not aware of it. So a group of deities. So yeah, I think any biblical case there is going to help that, because if you can make a case for, say, you know, God being one, or there's one God or something like that, and that'd be more of a biblical case that you can build if they accept the Bible, which I'm assuming they don't. So
would you say that the resurrection of Jesus would be?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Would be a good resource against that?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, if you know that, then you can bring that to almost anything.
Yeah.
Right?
If they consider, if they're open to the evidence, yeah. So if they believe in, it says a lot of mythological deities. So I don't know if it serves a pragmatic case for them or something, but without knowing more, it's hard for me to kind of guide as much. But I do appreciate the super chat and the comment and the question. I'm sorry. And I hope that gave you something. Sorry if it didn't. You know, it looks like I've been off tonight. So David, appreciate the super chat. Thank you, my man. Says, you, Michael Jones, and Cameron are the reason I came back to faith. I'm eternally grateful for you three, and I'm prayerfully considering including you three as my tithe. Hey, David, really appreciate it. It's always a blessing to hear stuff like that, you know, because sometimes it's just easy sometimes to get discouraged, feel like you're just not making any difference. Nobody's listening to you. And so those type of comments and stuff really do, they really are encouraging. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, another super chat. Okay, so you're clarifying. Thank you. It says they teach live in sin, hyper grace, no repentance. Yeah, so I don't. So trying to think about how to talk about this without getting too deep in the weeds. So my view is that obviously you shouldn't live in sin. I mean, you shouldn't sin. I think the Bible's clear about that. It's like I think in 1 John, where John says, like, I wrote this so that way you won't sin, but if you do sin, you fall upon the grace of the Father. It's something along those lines, you know. And so I do think that it's Jesus's righteousness that counts for us, not our personal righteousness. And at the same time, the theme in the Bible seems to be this, at least, especially in Paul's letters too. What you'll see is he'll start off the chapters talking about what God has done for us. So he tells you who you are initially. He's like, God has done this, this, this. You know, he's put you in this place where you have this grace from him, where you're not working by the law or by these works anymore for salvation. And then after that, he switches into, now that you know who you are, and now that God's done this for you, this is what you can do for God. And then it tells you how to live, and then how to get along, and then how not to, or how to evade sin, and what you can do. So your motivation is coming from, it's not coming from any type of fear or something like that you're not saved. Instead, it's coming from what Christ and God has done to you. And it takes this load off of you. And now, because you don't have to feel shamed anymore. There's no condemnation for those in Christ. You don't have to feel shamed anymore. And that motivates you to be able to use your freedom for good. And that's like a theme in Paul's letters too. You're free. Now use that freedom for good. So that's what I'd say about that.
You would say that in response to the gods. I thought that was what he was talking about.
Yeah. But he's said this, so he must be clarifying something I don't know. So maybe they do hold to the Bible in some kind of way. Maybe we Googled something different. But yeah, so it seems like if they hold to the Bible.
Yeah, because that person says the fallen angels.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure they have a complex theology or something. But that's what I'd say. Is that and it's weird because for me, just keep going through the Bible and stuff like that, and being able to make distinctions between salvation and Christian living, or being a disciple, or all these different things really helped put into perspective. It made it clearer to me when I'm just reading it, making distinctions between what he's talking about in context. And then that started really forming the way that I understand, grace, God's grace, and salvation, and that sort of stuff. So. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. So Studio and Greatness.
Did you miss one? Or maybe it was after that.
Maybe I did. Connor, what's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Connor Terrell says, love the ministry, and I'm a relatively new patron as well. Yeah, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. I find it a blessing that I found you, David Wood, and vocab as I began my master's in worship and arts. Awesome. Thanks for all you do. God bless. Hey, man, that's great, man. And hopefully, too, then you can join the live stream Hangout. So every month with my patrons, we all hang out, and you guys just come on the Skype with me or the Hangout or whatever, and then we just talk face to face, kind of virtually face to face. We talk, and then you guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you guys want to argue with me, that's cool. I don't care. But whatever you guys want to do.
He likes it.
Yeah, I don't mind the debate. But no, so whatever you guys want to talk about is cool. So hopefully I'll meet you there. And it's cool because now as the months go on, the people that keep showing up, of course, I've gotten to know my Patreons on a personal level. Mm-hmm. And that to me is dope because
that's awesome.
With all these people, sometimes it's hard, you know what I mean? But yeah.
And did you miss another one too?
Did I? She's going to have to keep an eye on it because I'm bad at this.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Harley Wykes. Thank you. Thanks, babe. She's totally. But thank you for the super chat. It says, do you believe most people go to heaven or hell? I think that most people are lost and will be eternally separated from God, which is why why giving the gospel to people and giving the truth to them is so important. And then spending the time to love them and meet them where they're at is important too, because it's not as much as just like trying to throw Bible verses at them all the time, But just like Jesus came to meet us where we were at, he could have just dropped the Bible from heaven right on a string, but instead he came to live with us, learn our language, talk with us, and really show. That's a way of showing love for the person. And so I think we emulate that by getting to know the person, seeing what they take to be persuasive, because I think that the case for Christianity is compelling in whatever kind of way that you understand, whether you believe things, take things to be evidence just based off of authority or based off of system structures like science, or based off of, even kind of like whatever it is, whatever you take as evidence, there's good evidence for Christianity, I think, in that way. So explore those, learn the different ways that people come to believe things. And yeah. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next question. So it says, Studio of Greatness. What's up? Thank you. Appreciate the super chat. What do you think of classical theism? Talking about the classical arguments for theism. Trying to think of what part of classical theism are you thinking? Yeah, when you guys send these questions, try to be specific if you can. I know, because sometimes I just don't want to answer the wrong question, So, but when it comes to the classical arguments for theism, maybe is what you're asking, then I'd say that yeah, I find the origin arguments the most compelling personally. So um, when I started believing in God, it was through the Kalam cosmological argument, and so I spent a lot of time looking at that argument, and I remember hitting this point where I was like, man, I believe in God now, because before that I was kind of like, yes, I believe in God, no, I don't believe in God, yes, I believe in God, no, I don't believe in God, depending on how I felt and stuff. But that kind of made sense to me and it clicked. And so after that, I spent a few years and stuff just debating it online and stuff all the time, trying to find holes in it to see if I still actually like really believed it. And even to this day, I still find it compelling. And I'm aware of its shortcomings, and I'm aware of like both sides of the argument. So, but I still find it compelling. So that and the argument from consciousness I find compelling. The contingency argument I find compelling. So a lot of these kind of origin type arguments I find a little bit more compelling when it comes to just the classical arguments for God's existence. So appreciate that. So all right, what other questions we got? I think I hope I didn't miss any super chats. I think I got them all. Let me just make sure I didn't. Yeah, I think I got them all right.
I think so.
Make sure you keep an eye on it because I'm bad at it.
I will, but you scroll so fast.
I know.
I want to like talk to everybody on here, but
I
you
know.
scroll so fast.
I know. It says, "Where's the baby?" Somebody asked that. No, I just lost the comment. Yeah, oh yeah, it's from Izzy and Christ.
Watching TV right now for the moment.
Yeah, baby.
Don't know how long it'll last. Yeah.
Yep. So he's watching TV. Those that don't know, we have a 5-year-old boy and a 1 year and 3 month boy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're good. Actually, is he screaming now?
Not right now.
I think I hear him screaming.
I mean, I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah, I have bad hearing too. You guys that don't know too, I have a cochlear implant. Don't know if you guys are aware of that. I don't know if you've seen it in my videos. Probably, if you've been following me for a while, you probably seen me talk about it here and there. But I have a cochlear implant. I lost my hearing kind of randomly. It was a slow progression, but it was still random. So it was maybe over a span of like a year or something. Maybe like I just remember not being able to hear people as well, and it just kept getting worse.
Yeah, and I don't think you realized how bad it was.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It was so bad.
Like when our oldest was a baby, like you couldn't hear him cry, but he'd be like, "Yeah, I can feel that," but you couldn't hear it.
Yeah,
like you couldn't hear him scream.
That's right. Yeah, I could feel it because how people probably when you hear a high pitched screech or something, you might be able to feel that. Even though you hear it, but I wouldn't hear it, but I could feel it, and it wasn't that bad though. It didn't like make me go, but anyways, it's crazy, right? It was crazy though to lose it, but I got a cochlear implant so I can hear. And it's a weird experience. Like it's humbling, you know what I mean? Because you have no control over it. And I was like just lost on my hearing. So when I went to the doctor finally, because I was like, I'm not wearing hearing aids. So I finally got to the doctor.
You went.
Yeah, and the doctor's like, we have 10% left in this ear, 15% left hearing in this ear, And so he said it was so bad, it was past the point of being able to use hearing aids or anything like that because so much of my hearing got lost. And so because of that, he's like, yeah, your only option is a cochlear implant. So got one, and I've just been about 2 years now, 3 years? Well, probably actually about 2.5 years, something like that, right?
Maybe 4 years.
Has it been that long? Hasn't been that long.
Maybe 3.
No, it hasn't been 4. Maybe 3 at the most. But
because Kason was little when you had it.
He was, yeah. And he's 5, so. Because I didn't get it turned on for like a while too afterwards, remember? Yeah. But I had to relearn how to hear it all over again, guys. And it was a crazy process, which I'll talk about some other time. Crazy process though. I just saw, okay, where was it? Okay, Victor, thank you for the comment. You said, not a religious question, but did you guys have to face any prejudice as a mixed couple? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
It was crazy.
The beginning was kind of a rough time.
It was crazy. But we actually been saying that we were going to tell our whole story. Like,
it's kind of can be a long story.
It is a long story.
It was really hard.
Yeah, it was hard, man. But I mean, it's like everything else, man.
I mean, it wasn't hard for us. It was hard for like what we experienced.
Yeah, I have to deal with it. Oh yeah.
But
we never doubted each other. I don't think nothing like that. But.
Yeah, we haven't had any really issues with that.
Yeah.
In a while.
Yeah, not so much. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, and somebody commented about the hearing. Yeah, that is a blessing because I'm just thankful. Like people were always like, "Oh man, this must be awful," because I love music. I've always been into music. I've always like played music and sung and stuff like that. And so when I lost my hearing, like people are like, "Man, that must be so awful." And honestly, like I'm just blessed that I'm in a time like this where I can get something like this to help.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then also like I'm blessed because like um, I mean, even biblically, like I didn't expect my life to always go well. So I was always, when I read the Bible, I was like, yeah, I don't know where people get this idea from. If you convert, your life's going to be great. I'm like, you can't have any more conversions than like Peter and Paul and all these other people. Like, what's a conversion if they're not converted and their lives, they had a lot of trials, even Jesus, right? Jesus is the person who lived the best more than anybody else in this whole, that would ever live and he still had he suffered, so that was okay to me because my theology was in place, so I didn't have any bad expectations. And so that's why it sucks to me when I see people that will lose their faith because things go bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they say God must not exist, and I'm like, Christianity is realistic. Maybe some other conceptions of theism is like, bad things won't happen if you convert, but Christianity is realistic, and it's like you're to expect these things. So Jesus said you will have these tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's it.
It's kind of crazy how far you've come. Like I forget what it was like when you couldn't hear, because I couldn't talk to him like in the car or in a restaurant because he wouldn't be able to hear me.
Yeah.
And so now I can talk to you in the car, and it's
and what was bad about it is that like she would get like frustrated at me after some point of like trying to tell me or just give up, you know what I mean, and trying to tell me, and then I felt awful, but it wasn't her fault. But I mean, I would imagine how frustrating it would be to have to repeat everything like 10 times, you know what I mean?
Well, no, like if we were having like a heated discussion, he would like try to have it in the car and say his point, and then I'm trying to say my point, and he's like, I can't hear you. So then I would yell, and then he's like, why are you yelling? You're getting mad. And I'm like, because you can't hear me. And I'm like, just stop until like we get out of the car.
See, you guys think that I'm dumb. That's how you win. That's how you win fights with your wife. Babe, I can't hear. I know you had a response, but I can't hear you.
No, but you would be like, I can't hear you. And
I can't hear you.
And I'm like, then stop having this conversation until we get out of the car.
It's like my battery's dead. Yep, not working today. I don't know what's going on. So
But here's when Kason was a newborn too, and like up all night, and he just could take his, implant off and just sleep so good. Oh yeah, that was a great night's sleep. And I'm like, what?
It has its perks, honestly, because
up all night.
Yeah, the other perk is that I can stream to this. So, and it doesn't come in as like sound waves, so people can't hear them. They're electronical. What do they call them? They're electrical. I think they're just electrical currents or electrical waves that your brain has to learn how to translate them into intelligible noises. And so nobody else can hear it. You know what I mean? But I can stream to this. So I'll listen to audiobooks and stuff like throughout the day, no matter what I'm doing. So that's one of the perks. You know what I mean? Music doesn't sound that good coming from it. It sounds a little too robotic-y and stuff. You can't get the bass and stuff like that. But I listen to audiobooks all the time or podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how I'll try to keep my education going while working so much, is that I'll stream audiobooks or something like that to try to listen. So, because I don't get to read physical books as much as I used to now.
Because I still have to be like John if he's like listening to something in his ear, like I'm talking.
Yeah, but that's a blue light, right? I think when I'm streaming,
I don't know. I've never noticed
Oh, really? That. Okay. Okay, another question from a Forerunner's Story. Thank you. Hey, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I was asking your view because a guy that teaches live like the devil and be saved copies your videos and uses them to argue with people who disagree with them. All I'm going to always argue, by the way, is what I'm convinced is completely biblical. And I will always try to be careful with theology. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys something that I haven't tried to look into a lot. You know what I mean? And if the guy lives like the devil, then I don't think, biblically, there's all kinds of consequences for it too. You're going to mess up your witness. You know what I mean? You're not going to be as effective. People aren't going to trust you. People aren't going to believe that you actually believe what you're saying. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt others. You're going to hurt, especially if you have a flock that you're trying to look after, you're going to hurt them. So if you want to live like the devil, then that's on you, but I don't advise it. You know what I mean? So whoever that guy is, don't live like the devil if you really are living like the devil, you know. Don't justify. I mean, this is kind of like what Paul talks about in Romans 6, you know, because when he gets done talking about grace, and the more he says, the more that we sin, grace, the more grace we have. And then he said, but does that mean that we should keep sinning? Something to that effect. We keep sinning so that way grace may abound even more. And he says, by no means, you know what I mean? So you don't want to use that as a way to just say, hey, let's just keep sinning. You know, the whole point is that you're actually free from these sins. So, and this is the, Paul talks like this, First Peter talks like this, Peter does, and all. And there's just like, you've been saved from this. So why do you want to run back to it? And in First Peter, Peter says, you spend enough time living like the ones who, I can't remember what he calls the pagans. He said, you spend enough time living like the pagans, doing all of these things, you know? So he's like, now live for Christ because of what Christ has done for you, you know? And now we're actually free from the penalty of sin. So why would we want to just keep running back to it? So I think that that's the biblical view from what I see in all of the letters in the New Testament and the Gospels. So thank you. Appreciate your super chat. All right. I got another one in here. It says from Ben. Ben, I recognize your name. Why do I recognize your name? I think you're a new patron. Yeah, you're a new patron. I remember your name. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a patron, and thank you for your support. Oh, you even say it in the comment. That's funny. Says, I became a patron this week after seeing your video about doing this full time. I use your videos for my teen group at church. Keep up the good work. Hey man,
that's awesome.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Well, it's great to hear that. And it's weird. I get a lot of messages from people using my videos with youth. And so if these videos help your youth, by all means, and you guys, for all you guys that know too, you can use my videos. You can always download them, upload them to your own channels or whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you not to. So whatever you guys want to use, always, I just want to get the messages out to more and more people. So we just want to keep getting the gospel to different people all over. So absolutely. If you, thank you for using my videos too, and feel free to download whatever you need. And yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. David Julian, hey, another one. Hey man, I appreciate it, my man.
Oh,
says this is for the diapers. Thank you.
Yes,
yeah,
there's a lot of those with him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we go through a lot of diapers these days. Hopefully this is it. I hope this is our last stage of diapers. I'm saying,
what do you mean?
So we don't have to.
Meme.
She wants another kid. Do you still want another kid?
I mean, I'm in this phase right now where I'm just like so tired all the time, and you know, they're like a lot, but at the same time, like I think it'd be super cool to have like a huge family one day.
How huge you talking?
Like 2 more would be super
Two
cool.
more?
Yeah.
Nah, see, she's tripping now. She must be that coffee. I don't know. It's just coffee, right? Hey, David, appreciate it, my man. Yo, Doc Funny in the house. What's up, man? It says, hey, John and Miss WDYM.
Hi, Dr. Funny.
Doc Funny. Another patron that I got to know pretty well now, too. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I see you every month. I'm Doc. Good to see you, Pat. Apostate Prophet. What's up, my man? Did I just see? Yeah, I did see it. Stay away from whatever. Greetings. Apostate Prophet with the $20 super chat. Appreciate it, my man. Yo, Apostate Prophet, if you guys are interested in Islam, then Apostate Prophet he's ex-Muslim, who he's not a Christian now. We did a video, actually. He's now an atheist. We did a video dialoguing too. That's on my channel where you guys can check out. But Apostate Prophet, his channel just blew up too. Man, I think you started around the time I did, and now he's at a ridiculous amount of subs. So Apostate Prophet, appreciate what you're doing, man, when it comes to Islam. So thank you. And thank you for the super chat, my man. And this is my wife, by the way, dude. You haven't met her in person yet. So hopefully you'll meet her. We'll meet soon. It'd be good to see you again too, man. So thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, I can never pronounce your name. Oh, wait, actually, I skipped one. Yeah, I did. Doc Funny. Doc Funny says, hey, John and Miss, what do you mean? Cool to see you guys online tonight. Give me a book to send to my hard, angry brother to start the Jesus saving faith conversion. Yeah, to support the historical and biblical Jesus. Hey, absolutely, man. And
you have a brother that's...
No, I'll definitely send you one. And also, too, next time we're on the live stream next week, I'm sure you'll probably be there. Let's talk about it, too, so I can flesh out a little bit with you and give any tips or something that may help. So appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And now from, I can never pronounce... I never pronounce, but I know who you are. Cool person, cool guy. Atheist is atheist money. Thanks for all your hard work. He's an atheist. Yeah, and I always see his comments, but he's seems reasonable because so that's why I don't know why you're an atheist. I'm just kidding. No, he's talking about his story and stuff too, and we tend to agree a lot. It sounds like too. So hey, I appreciate you being here. I always appreciate your comments and stuff. So, and thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Connor, appreciate another
big family fund
for the big family fund. Appreciate it, Connor. Thank you very much.
To have
appreciate
a big
it.
family one day.
Appreciate it. Hey, Nathaniel, what's up, man? Nathaniel's always good to see. Says, what do you mean? This is. I lost a comment. This is my wife. Do we just call her Miss? What do you mean? Yeah, no, you call her Miss Meme. Miss Meme is her.
You can.
Yeah.
I inserted that now.
Nathaniel's another patron who I recently got to know in person, even though you've been a subscriber for a long time, because I've always seen your comments too. Intelligent guy too, very intelligent. And good to see you here, brother. Cool. All right, let's do. I said I missed someone on Super Chat on Eternal Hell. Oh, okay, let me go back. Show you the comments. Okay, Wolfie. Hey, sorry I missed it. I'm glad somebody mentioned it in there. I'm awful at missing them sometimes.
That's a good question.
It says really struggled with the concept of eternal hell. How do you make sense of it? Yeah, this is a deep question, right? So the way I make sense of it is this. I think when you read the scriptures, let me think of the best starting place. So C.S. Lewis had a view of hell where he said, when you read the scriptures too, you see that people aren't ever trying to get out of hell. And so he says, it's a long story in his book, The Great Divorce. And I'm inclined to agree with something like that. I see our hearts are fundamentally against God and against the gospel. We don't want it. That's why we tend towards selfishness so much. All of us just tend towards selfishness. And so I think ultimately at the end of your life, you get what you want. So God's saying, hey, if you want to be with me, here's my free gift of grace. You can come be with me. But some people just don't want it. You know what I mean? Because they'd rather, I don't want to use this language, but I think that it's true. I do, where they say people want to become their own God. I think that's true in the sense where they want to be kind of left alone and you want to be in control of your, you don't want to, you don't want what God has. In my mind, it functions like addiction. When you're addicted to drugs, and sin functions like that kind of, you need more and more of it to kind of keep you going, right? So it kind of makes you miserable, but at the same time, you don't want to get rid of it because you have like this cycle of addiction that you're stuck in. And I think sin does that to us. I really think it does. And that's why the more we do some certain sins, the easier it is to do next time, and so on and so on and so on. And then it's harder to break that cycle. So, what it does is it pulls you from reality too. It pulls you from looking at things objectively and looking at things based off of reality, how things really are, such to distort your view over time. And I think sin does the same thing in the same kind of way that drugs does. And so what happens is that, I think ultimately people, you can have the opportunity to kind of ditch the habit and seek help or something, or when it comes to drugs, right? And it's similar. I think it's the same thing when it comes to God at the end of your life too. You ultimately get what you want. So if your meaning and purpose in life, if what makes you feel good and what you want the most is to say hook up with girls or do whatever you want to do, right? Then ultimately that's what you can end up having apart from Christ. So I think that when we accept the gospel, God is really saving us from ourselves, because our natural sin inclinations is for us to say I want this thing more than I want God, more than I want to kind of just take God. And our flesh is always against God, so we all have that in common. With the non-believers, the believers too, we all have that in common, where our flesh is always just pulling at us, trying to take us away from God. So I think what we do when we accept the gospel is we say, God, save me from myself. I trust in you. That's it. So then we can experience him. So and kind of as Augustine said, Augustine saw hell too as where you get finite pleasures forever. You know what I mean? So you can have whatever you want. So if you live for women, you can have all these women in hell for all of eternity. But just like drugs and everything else, the high, these temporary pleasures, They give you like a little short pleasure, then it dims next time, and it takes from you every time. And so that would go on all throughout eternity. So any temporal pleasures you can think about having them for all of eternity. And then you can't get the true peace and happiness that you get from being in God's presence. And so that's the difference there, is like, if that's what you want for eternity, it's fine, but that would be hell. That would be hell in my mind. And so, yeah, that's the difference. And God is is where life comes from, and where peace comes from, and where all of these good things come from. So you can lose that if you don't, if you'd rather prefer to keep your drugs, in other words. So hope that helps give you some a little insight into how I process hell. And there's a lot that goes into it, a lot more. I actually should probably write like a long thing on it, maybe do like a 30-minute video or something like that to explain all these steps, how it makes sense theologically and stuff to me too. And how it really kind of encompasses God's love and justice and mercy and all of it together too. It's the only concept I can ever fathom, I think, in any other kind of religious belief. Christianity is the only one where it really pulls together God's mercy and justice all together. You just don't have that ability to do that in any other belief or worldview. So hey, appreciate it. Appreciate the comment. Let's see. So now where was I? Okay, there was, I saw some more come in. Let me just, Doc Funny, another one. Appreciate it, Doc Funny. Says, John, you need to get some moderators for the live chat. I think they're useful. I agree with you. So what I'm going to do, Doc, is I'm going to make you a mod right now too. Yep, now you are now a mod. Oh, Cameron, what's up, Cam? I'm going to put you as a mod too. Says you can do that when you're full time. Yes, I can when I'm full time. God willing, man. So you guys keep me in prayer too. Pray that this does become a reality where I will generate enough support where we can actually make this a full-time thing. Because there's a lot of videos too. Like, I hate rushing videos, but sometimes I'm on a time constraint. But there's some stuff where I'd like to actually stop, sit down, and think of really good analogies that I think will penetrate and resonate with people, And so I just can't afford that time now, but God willing, I can. So appreciate all you guys too that are supporting me too. So prayerfully, pray for this ministry, stay with us, and then also prayerfully consider becoming part of the support team too in Patreon, so that way we can make this happen. All right. We'll take a couple more, guys, and then we'll get off of here. 6:30. You guys have any questions for my beautiful wife? Make sure you throw those in so we can give her some really tough ones.
No.
All right, let's see. Okay. Miguel says, what do you mean? Do you have a reading list? I'm impressed just considering you've read even a quarter of those books in the back. There might not be as many as they look like. This is actually as big as the bookshelf is, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flights there. But no, yeah, I used to read like all the time until we had 2 little ones who just robbed my time. No, but they do it, and I want to give them my time. But I used to read a lot. Now I still read a lot, but I listen to audiobooks more. But my reading list, the ones I always recommend that I think are really helpful is if you're kind of just, even if you're not even just getting started into thinking critically about your faith or thinking deeper about it, I think a really good book that's really practical is Tim Keller's book called The Reason for God. And if you guys know Tim Keller, then I'm sure you hear some of his kind of influence in a lot of my videos and stuff too. Tim Keller is awesome at talking about the gospel and balancing with apologetics and, the critical thinking for your faith and all of these kind of different things and theology and stuff too. So he's really good at that, but I'm a big Tim Keller fan, but I do think
Tim Keller's so good.
Yeah, he is. He's good. His sermons are all good. But I'd say that his book, The Reason for God, is one that I would definitely recommend. The other book I always say to read is Tactics by Greg Koukl. And Tactics kind of gives you these kind of questions that help you have conversations with people about Christianity and stuff, but in a non-threatening way. And also it helps sharpen your own way of thinking. If you apply those same questions to yourself with the things that you believe, it's going to strengthen your thinking drastically. So especially if you have a good friend who's, you guys can talk about this kind of stuff a lot, talk with them and you guys challenge each other by asking them questions. Like 2 of the questions in the book are, what do you mean by that? So make sure you define your terms. And then also, how did you come to that conclusion? So then you have to explain how you got there. And so if you continue to do that with a friend and you guys do it, like me and my best friend do it all the time, it's annoying at first, but now we're so used to it that we have to think better before we tell the other person something. You know, you have to think it through more, but that helps your thinking drastically. So I think that that stuff is more important than just reading books, just getting the knowledge, because it actually helps you to know how to get to the knowledge and what to do with it. So yeah, hope that helps. The Holy
Yes.
Place super chat, appreciate it, thank you very much. Says, what are your thoughts on revival today? Oh, that's a good question. Baby's up, baby's up.
Oh no.
I haven't thought too much about it. I think that we are at the brink where we could have some sort of revival now, because we've lost so much of the fundamental elements of Christianity and culture. Most Christians now today and stuff, like, hardly, and this isn't a fault of their own as much as it is the churches, but they don't understand even what these words mean, right? Like grace, you know what I mean? Or sin, or a
The
lot of these words.
gospel.
Yeah, gospel, all of these, you know, we've lost that. And so because we've lost that, I think that we're fit for revival. So we have a lot of things, because this is what's encouraging to me, is that most of the objections that you see online are like really bad, you know what I mean? But people can't understand it yet, you know, but they're really bad. And because of that, I think that there's a lot of hope for a revival. So hopefully, yeah, we hit some certain revival too, because the way society is going with the postmodernism, and people are coming to accept feelings as facts. They really are. They've replaced, it's the way people come, what people take as evidence is feelings, how they feel, or their experience. That's evidence. And facts and stuff like that, they don't even consider evidence most of the time. And because we're in a place like that, we've made people's feelings to be essentially an objective fact that everybody must abide by. But you can only do that for so long before everything comes crumbling down. You know, it reminds me of like the fall of Rome. You know, you have all of these different things, and then it's just going to crumble. So I think that the Gen Zs, I think we have a little bit more hope for, if we can make sure that we equip them well, and give them good ways of thinking, because they're actually a lot more open to objective evidence and facts and stuff than us millennials. Because us millennials have like we've just I don't know, our thinking is just on a different place, you know. So but anyways, yeah, so I think that, yeah, we have a shot at it. So I saw another super chat come in. Yep, it says from Marcio Vargas. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. It says, thank you for all that you do. Keep up the fight. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, my man. I really do. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we'll take two more questions and then we will be out. So last minute, 2 questions, and then we will be out. Believing Thinkers, Nate, are you guys all here? Gerard, yeah, Gerard Perry, Capturing Christianity, Miss Piggy. Hi, fam. Hey, you guys are all here. These are all my people. It's good to see you guys all here. I'm glad to see you guys are all in here. Sean from Believing Thinkers, by the way, if you guys subscribe to the channel Believing Thinkers, Sean actually is my man that's been helping out with emails and all that kind of stuff, because I just haven't been able to get to him, of course. Like, and I'm sorry for you guys if you sent me emails or messages on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. I'm sorry. I will get to him eventually, or Sean will. Yeah, but thank you, and please just be patient with it. And yeah, Sean will either get back to you or I will at some point. But Sean's my man. He's been helping out a lot. It's been a real blessing. So appreciate that.
Hi, Warrior Woman.
Warrior Woman, what up? Good to see you here. All right, let's see. Question on. Let's see. Yeah, these aren't for me. Do I do apologetics outside of YouTube? Yes. So I teach, like I was saying, but in my mind, here's how I think the optimal Christian life should kind of function. You need a good community where you can talk about your emotional issues in an authentic way, and your intellectual issues in an authentic way. And then that's how you can have the optimal kind of Christian life, because we're not supposed to just love God with our hearts. We're supposed to love God with all of our minds as well. All of your soul, spirit, and minds. The baby's up. Sorry for the screaming, but yeah. So yeah, I would say that Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what else we got. So putting your last questions, guys. What are your views on Catholicism? Yeah. So here's my views on Catholicism. I'd say that when it comes more to the question of are Catholics saved, which I think is the more important question, I'd say that it depends. The reason I say is that if you accept the gospel, you're saved. If you don't accept the gospel, you're not saved. So then that's like the question, well, what is the gospel, right? And so the only thing I think if Catholics will put an emphasis on works for their salvation, then I think that I just go to Galatians 5. Think about how Paul argues in Galatians 5 throughout it. He's like, if you're doing these works and trying to hold the law, I'm sorry, guys, I know it's loud. If you're doing the works and trying to hold the law, then you're going to fail. The law's here to condemn us, not to show you how good you are, you know? And so if Catholics do that, hold on one sec. Hey, babe, can you shut the door? Jeez, he's screaming so loud. Okay. Hey, you want to come say hi, buddy?
He just wanted out.
Oh, yeah. So,
I was trying to see if he was
sad.
gonna take a
But
sippy cup.
so that's what I say about Catholicism. Maybe, maybe not. What's wrong, buddy? This is our little guy, Aiden. You're making all that noise. Look. You want to say hi? Say hi.
Who's this?
Want to say hi?
Sometimes he'll see like your computer and be like,
Yeah, I
Dada,
know.
Dada.
Yeah. Want to say hi? You gonna talk yet? Boom, 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 boom.
Look mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. You say hi? Say hi.
I know his hair's gotten so long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never want to cut it.
And he's
It's kind of wild today. We were in a hurry.
yeah. I like his wild, crazy hair. When it just
Yeah.
gets all crazy, I'm like, cool. Hi.
Hi, better?
You better?
You look sleepy. He didn't
does look
nap
sleepy.
today, so he's super cranky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Aiden, Aidon. Yeah.
Somebody, I can't remember who said earlier, was like, do you think dinosaurs go to heaven?
That's awesome.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll have a new heaven, new earth. Dinosaurs will be here, probably, maybe. Aiden, say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi.
Not gonna
He's
talk
like,
yet?
why are you making me say hi?
I know.
Computer? He likes to FaceTime, though.
You guys can call them mini meme. I just call my mini me's mini memes. Mini me's, I call them my mini memes. There we go.
Aw.
Okay, so yeah, I talked about the Catholicism one. Nate says, Nate, what up, Nate? Oh, he says, what are your views on making believing thinkers a moderator? Oh, believing thinkers should be a moderator. And Nate, I'm gonna make you a moderator too, of course, my man. Made Doc 21 already. I thought believing thinkers was. Sean, comment on here again so I can make you a moderator if you're not. Because I know you're in the house. Many memes. All right. All right. So let's.
There was some other
let's
stuff
look at the
we
last ones.
missed, I think.
I know. Moses says, "Hi, Miss Meme and Mini Meme." Sean, there you are, my man. Let me make you a mod. I haven't did mods because I was like, I was like always letting people just kind of say whatever. But yeah, I probably should have some mods in here. Good idea. Let's see. Do you think baptism is required for salvation? Put on your armor on channel is asking that, and I say no, it is not. I don't believe that it is. A lot of people quote from 1 Peter. So let me go to that verse now, because a lot of people quote from this verse thinking that
people ask that a lot too.
Yeah, they think that it shows that baptism is essential for salvation, but I'd say that it actually shows the opposite. So we go to 1 Peter verse 21. So, and this water symbolizes the baptism that now saves you. You see that? Also, not the removal of dirt from the body, but a pledge of a clear conscience towards God. So I think that scripture actually works against them, because it says that the water symbolizes the baptism that now saves you. And I think that, and it just says not the removal of the dirt from the body, but a pledge of a clear conscience towards God. So,
but that we still should do it, but that it's not.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think you should get baptized, especially like the early church, like they were just like, why would you not get baptized? You know what I mean? Because it's your kind of declaration. Because what the baptism is it symbolizes Here you go. You want to come to Dada? Baptism symbolizes Christ's death and resurrection. So when we go down in the water, it symbolizes it's like that person dies with Christ. Hat. That person dies, and then they come out of the water raised in the same way that that Christ was raised. Say hi. You gonna talk yet? You still not gonna talk? Say hi. Say what's up.
Looks mad.
He does look mad. Say, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're not talking? Jiggle.
Me. Say me.
Say me.
Say meme. Meme.
So, yep. So I hope that helps with the question of water baptism. So they said, hi, little buddy. Said, he's really cute. They said, you're cute. You say hi? Do you want to say bye? Bye.
Says, what was the verse again?
For what? First Peter?
I'm not sure. Probably. I think they're probably talking about the First Peter one, the water symbol one.
Yeah.
The one you took from First Peter.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm. There's one in Acts, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Super chat real quick from Aid versus the World. That's a cool name. Says, hey buddy, it's okay. Says, wish I could offer more. I love what you do. Thank you very much. It says, I'm not sure. Sorry. Says, I'm not sure. Where did it go? I'm not sure you consider yourself a ministry, but consider this as my financial support. God bless. No, thank you very much. I do consider what we do here in ministry because I was thinking too, I was like, sometimes like, of course, like in more of the older generations who don't use YouTube as much, they're like, no, that's not a ministry. Like, what are you doing? But the way I think about it, it's still somewhat like a mission field because you're getting the gospel into places that otherwise you couldn't, so it's kind of like a modern day mission in some ways, because you're like, getting the gospel to all these different places in the world, and you're doing it in this, it's going to be a little thinner, but it's spread further. So I do. So I thank you very much. And I think that these YouTube ministries are necessary because, like I said earlier, kids now, they don't watch TV. They don't read. They don't listen to podcasts, especially blogs. They don't read from blogs or anything like that and stuff. Mainly, they go to YouTube to get the information. So we definitely need more people here. So, yeah. All right. And says, does your wife work? No, my wife works taking care of this house because otherwise I don't know how we would survive. Seriously, if she's not here to cook and stuff, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. Yeah. Like, oh my goodness. So it's a blessing for sure.
Yeah. I stay home with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So, okay, guys, we are going to get out of here so we can do this.
I feel like we still have so much.
I know, we do. I actually recorded a couple videos today. So I'll have 2 new videos this week. And then for those of you that are going to be at the Apologetics Conference this weekend, I'm planning on being there. So if you'll be there, then I'll be there. Okay. She is a good wife. Okay, so... You ready to get off?
I feel like there was stuff we missed.
I know. We don't really want to leave you guys, but thank you all the comments that say love your channel. Thank you. Too, you guys send me ideas that you guys have for videos that you'd like to see me do or cover. Always send them to me. Sean will probably be monitoring them if it's by email or but send them however you can send them because I'm always looking for ideas and stuff to do. Curious to what you guys want to see. I want to make sure that I answer questions that you guys have because a lot of people probably have questions as well. So
thank you, David.
Yeah, David, thank you for your super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Says God bless your family richly. Amen.
No.
Oh, did he? I was like, did he get your coffee?
No.
Oh, okay.
Got your stuff.
Cool.
All your
yeah, send whatever to the email whatdoyoumeme@gmail.com. Okay. Sean, thanks for putting that up there, brother.
What would be cool is if like we could see everyone in like their cameras.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what's cool about the Patreon Hangouts because then you can see everybody. Because I've had subscribers for so long and I just see them comment all the time. I have no idea what they look like, so it's always cool to put a face to it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And one more thing before I go, too, guys. I'm planning on probably doing some videos with Vocab and David Wood and Mike Winger. Actually, I'll meet for the first time in person. We've been friends for forever, it feels like, and we talk all the time, but we haven't met in person. So I'll be seeing him this week, which is going to be cool. So I'll probably I'm thinking about doing a series maybe of like with all of these different people, like Sam Shamoon and Anthony Rogers and all of our people, do like some memes and respond to some memes. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you let me know. And yeah, that should be fun and dope. And then Abe versus the World, quick question. Hey, thanks for the super chat. It says, is your wife's hair white or blonde?
I
It's
don't know.
gray.
It's
No,
kind,
I'm
of,
just kidding.
it's kind of both. I don't
is.
know. Blonde, I guess.
It's
Or maybe
like-
white.
It's kind of whitish.
Yeah.
It's more white than
Yeah.
blonde anyways. Wish my hair looked like your boys because I don't have any. Hey, Nathaniel, me too, bro. I'm right there with you, my man. I know. One day, hey, we'll get hair in heaven, bro. I'll get an ear and hair. It's
I've
gonna
never
be a good
seen
day.
him. I've never seen you with like hair. I don't know what it would be like. Somebody asked about your beard though earlier. They're like, how do I get a big beard like that?
Oh man, this beard. This thing's about to come off at some point.
No,
She always
like,
makes me grow it out, and I'm always
never
like, man,
cut
I
your
hate
beard,
it.
ever.
40K, congrats, thank you. 40,000 subscribers, a blessing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So I'm looking forward to this next year. I think if we get consistent content out, it's going to reach a lot further. YouTube works with me when I'm putting out videos more consistently. YouTube works with me and recommends my stuff to more people. So I think it's good because because then we get the gospel to more places, and that's what really makes me happy, is to share the gospel with more people in ways that they can understand. So yeah. So amen. Okay, it's time to go. So say bye. 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 They're right there. Say bye. Bye. All right, guys, we're gonna get off of here. So love you guys, and we'll see you next time. I'll go live randomly some other point, sometime in the semi-near future. All right.
Yeah, and we will go back and look at the comments too.
Yeah. We will. We'll go back and look at them. So love you guys.
I don't like when we miss people's stuff.
I know.
Like,
me too.
During the thing.
I know. So okay. So I don't know. I mean, so I guess next time we go live, I mean, what should we say?
What do you mean?
All right, guys. Peace out.
I wasn't prepared.
I know. I threw you off. Threw you a curveball.
I was like, what are we doing next time? I don't know.
Last